Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 63 of Guess the Trade. But first, let's talk about episode 62. We looked at Keezy's loadout. He had some Occidental leather pouches on a tool belt, and then also a Milwaukee tool bag with things like knee pads, an extra meter, all kinds of stuff like that inside of there. Really nice loadout. Well, what was it that he did with those tools? Well, there were a couple comments or guesses that Keezy replied back to that I saw. It was AZ Narek. He commented and said commercial electrician was his guess, and then Keezy replied back to him and said nailed it. And then it was Electro Atletico. He commented back with even more specific stuff about second year apprentice or something like that, IBEW. Way more specific information. And Keezy said you nailed it to a T. So a combination of those two guesses. Basically, he is a commercial electrician. So good guessing on that. A lot of you kind of guessed in that vein anyways. Appreciate you sending in your loadout, Keezy. Really great loadout. Well, today in episode 63, we're going to look at Andrew Kletke. He's got a Vito Pro Pack SBLD. A lot of you got that for the free bag last year, and then I know several of you picked it up this year and then got the free bag to go along with that. You got it during the spring promotion this year. So we're going to look at his loadout, see if there's anything we can learn from it, and then see if we can figure out what it is we think that he does with these tools. But let's go ahead and jump into his tools. So we're going to start out here on the outside of the bag. Again, it is the Vito Pro Pack SBLD. See lots of really great tools in there. Vessel USB screwdriver, Vera ball handles, lots of Knipex tools, Pikas, all sorts of things that I use in my line of work. So he's got a lot of nice tools in here. And again, this bag, I've been running this since the free bag of getting it to spring promo last year. But I know a lot of you picked it up this year to get your free tier 2 bag. So maybe, again, this would be a good bag to see some loadouts on because a lot of you are just now getting this for the first time. I can't get over how many tools this smaller-ish, I'd call it a medium-sized bag, but it holds a ton of stuff. He's got some nice tools in here, but we're going to see these. But here's the front side. We'll move on. This is the pocket here on the front that he's got the Stabilo level on the front side. So he's got the Fat Ivan door stop. Also looks like a Cat 5 tool or a stripper. Takes the outside sheathing off. And then also several different bits down in there. Maybe we'll see these out here in just a little bit. We'll move over here to the, if you're looking at it from the front, this is the right side of the bag. So he's got Stud Buddy, punch down tool, 14-in-1 Milwaukee, Knipex shears, fastback. He's got red and black tape for sure. I don't know if the white is electrical or Teflon. We'll see that maybe hopefully in a little bit. But this side over here, this side should be kind of keying you in maybe on more so at least until we see the rest of it. Possibly what part of his trade is because all that seems like networking stuff to me. But we'll move on to the next picture. So here is the left of the bag. If you're looking at it from the front, looks like a small pair of strippers, also tough built. I'm not sure if that's a jab saw or a knife. It might be the folding jab saw. Flashlight of some kind. Maybe we'll see that. I'm not real sure what that one is. And then also Klein flip sockets. Looks like he's got metric and SAE right there. Small tape measure. Back in the back side, he's got a clamp meter of sorts and then also the M12 Surge. So again, I think that this is the big thing about this bag is that you got room to put something like this in the back side of it. So going on, so now we are at his tools. Left to right, we're going to zoom in a little bit. Up top, we've got that small DeWalt 9-foot tape measure. I've got a couple of those laying around everywhere. Looks like he's got, I think, the 8 and 10. And then also the 1/4 inch and 5/16 on the flip sockets for the smaller ones. And then he's got the hole sizes as far as the big shafts over there on the a little bit to the right of that. Klein non-contact voltage tester. Tough build. It is the folding jab saw. Klein also strippers. And they go up to a very small wire on those. So again, put that in combination with some of these tools over here on the right. I think we're getting somewhere. Pika 3030. Also a Pika pen as far as it's like a marker. Also gray Sharpie or silver Sharpie, Inkzall, a couple of those, the ultra fine one as well. He's got some alligator clips. Again, that was a Milwaukee light, so maybe that's what we were seeing on the side over there. Couldn't tell it by the battery. Also a 14-in-1 Milwaukee screwdriver, Knipex electrician shears, a 45 crimper, RJ45 crimper, also punch down tool and Stud Buddy, and a Milwaukee fastback. We'll go on over a little bit more. Fat Ivan again, like I said. Also a countersink drill bit, that small Stabilo level. Still can't tell, but I think that's white electric tape. I can't tell 100% for sure, but I think that's what that is. Because that would throw you, that's a big difference between, if I see all the tools he's got now, There's no reason really for a network person to carry Teflon tape that I can think of anyways. Maybe for some sort of exterior conduit or something. I'm not real sure. I wouldn't know. But white electrical tape I can see. Teflon tape would throw me into, well, maybe he does networking, but he also does maintenance and a bunch of other stuff like that. So, but it looks like white electrical tape. And then he's got some bits down there. So let me zoom back out. We'll scroll on over. So now we're on the other side. Again, Vessel USB electric screwdriver, probably my tool of the last couple of years anyways. Vera screwdrivers. He's got some ball handles and some, looks like a square, maybe number 2. Could be a Torx as well. I can't read it down there. I'm not sure. Yeah, Vera's got some square, and that's kind of a green color, so that's probably what that one is. He's also got the ratcheting Vera screwdriver up there. He's got the Ox hammer pry bar. I've actually looked at that one. I think it's in my Amazon wish list, that Ox pry bar. So I'm curious, Andrew, what you think about that pry bar, using it as like a small hammer in a bag type thing. I've been using the Knipex end cutters that have that hammer in, but I've actually looked into this one. I've got it in my wish list because I like the pry bar aspect of it. So let me know what your feedback is on that. Also has some Knipex Cobras and pliers wrench as far as 250s. And then he's also got another pliers wrench over there, 250 with a different finish. Pair of twin grips, also some diagonals, icon screwdriver or a pick of some sort. He's also got some small, almost keys for like to get your doorknobs and stuff off, but maybe he uses them for something else. And then he's got the icon Talon grips over there and the Knipex forged wire strippers as well. We'll go on to the next picture. So this is what's in the backside. So his clamp meter was a Klein. See if we can find a number on there somewhere. True RMS tough meter CL800. I see it up there on the top now, right underneath Klein Tools. Different bits right there. He's got magnetic bit holders from Milwaukee. He's also got some Veras with a socket adapter on the end of that one. Diablos, some really long Phillips, really long 1/4 inch drives. Again, that's the Milwaukee Surge step bit. And then now that we're getting over a little bit further, again, it's just calling out to you, I think, in my opinion, what he does. So he's got some jacks right there. Also a tool to be able to punch down on. Let's see, different anchors, different connectors inside of his little parts box. Velcro strapping. Also zip ties, lots of those. Fat Ivan. Some more, let's see, those are Sawzall blades right there. So that probably fits in this tough built, I guess. And then I think that's maybe a USB just charging thing that takes the Milwaukee little USBs. I'm not sure if that's a light or just a charger right there. Next picture is his name. You can also see behind him back there in his background, if that helps you out any. So we'll go back through. Again, this is the stuff that's in that back pouch of his SBLD right there. Impact, clamp meter, different parts bin, stuff like that. Going here, there's the bulk of his hand tools that he uses, from wire strippers to pliers wrenches to the different screwdrivers. Again, very interested in that Ox hammer / pry bar right there. And then here are some of his little extra tools, mostly networking tools, flashlight, Klein strippers, and different bits and writing utensils. And then you're getting back into here is the bag actually loaded out. So there's one side. So that is that Milwaukee light right there. I can see the red down in there now. Here is the other side. Again, that was the telling one for me. And then here is the small pouch. And then there is the main part of his bag, the Vito SBLD. But there you go, guys. There is Andrew Klecky's loadout of his Vito Pro Pack SBLD. Very nice bag. It's going to be hard for me to transition out of that into that SPMC whenever I get it. I'm definitely not going to get rid of my SBLD because it's been such a great bag over the last year, but I always like to try new stuff, see if my setup gets more efficient one versus the other, and that was a free bag this year, so I'm going to try that SPMC. But very nice loadout. I think it's definitely within networking. I don't do enough networking type stuff to know different titles of people. I basically run cables for people sometimes, and occasionally I work on different equipment, but I don't know the nitty gritty of networking and stuff like that. So some of you can probably guess more specifically based on his tools what it is that you think that he does, but I think it is for sure in IT / networking type stuff. But let us know your comments below. If you've got questions for him, make sure and ask them. Again, I'm very interested in that ox hammer / pry bar combination tools. What's your thoughts on that? But as always, I hope this video was helpful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.